Hey guys, so I'm currently 3 weeks post gallbladder removal surgery. Overall, slowly stepping things up, feeling a bit better in myself and just getting used to the changes. So as you all guys know, I went in for pancreatitis, gallbladder problems, things like that. I am getting better. My pancreatitis is starting to recede and having a lot less flare-ups, nowhere near as much pain. So this week, I'm still meant to be on a very reduced intensity. So I worked up to just 100 kilos for high rep sets. Anywhere between that like 6 to 10 rep range, and just being very careful in the lockout, only locking out on the last 1 or 2 reps. Overall, these are moving really well. As you can see, my progression is a lot slower than what I'd normally do. So normally I'll jump up in 20 to 25 kilo lots up until sort of the working or top sets, where I'd probably get a bit closer to jumping up in maybe 10s, even 5s each side at times, but yeah. So the key thing for this is just getting the form back, making sure that my hip hinge is still in a perfect position, so I'm wedging correctly, that I'm bracing actively and allowing myself to have that little bit of a thoracic round where I feel comfortable. So this current time, I have a scan on Monday. I will find out more of how I can continue to progress, at what rate, whether I can go up into the 200s or even mid 200s starting next week or the week after, and then make my way back over 400 kilos for deads and over 200 kilos for bench. Squat is the hard one at the moment because having the weight on my back puts an awkward load on my abdominal pressure, abdominal region, but hopefully starting next week back to squats as well, and a slow progression from there. I have added in some variations this week. I've been doing a lot more machine work, so added in some more hip adductor and abductor exercises, some more leg extension, hamstring curls, things like that to basically supplement what I can't do at the moment to maintain strength. It's not helping me really maintain size, but it's helping me to maintain strength and movement through that area to not allow too much muscle loss. On the bench side of things, so on Monday I did bench press as well. Worked up to just 100 kilos with feet on bench. This is really awkward angle for me because I'm not able to set up correctly. I've got quite a flat back in this, so I have no retraction or depression where it's got too much load on my abdominal region, and I'm not using any leg drive. So the 100 kilos though still moved easy. So I did two types of sets for 100. So I did the fast, more explosive ones where it was just getting the reps out. And then I did 2 sets also on the slow and controlled with a pause and a hold at the top, sort of mimicking what I'd do at a comp for the 1 reps. Reason why I split it up into these 2 is that way I have a bit more explosive training and one set of training that's focused more on how I would compete in a comp, obviously. Considering I'm looking at doing a comp in March, I do want to be able to train both because they both have a place in my training program that suit me. First week back doing some back exercises too because I was a bit worried of stretching too much up from my abdominal region. Just kept it light, did some light pull downs, some very light rows, nothing bent over because I didn't want to have that strain there where I was having any like shock movement through that area. And then arms. Arms is something that as a powerlifter I tend to neglect. So this has given me a little bit of a step back to have a look at how I want to readdress my training. And progress further on from here because I do want to go into strongman and stuff, so allowing myself to look at exercises that normally I'd be like, cool, I don't want to be here at the gym any longer because I've been here for a couple of hours, that now it's like, okay, let's split up my sessions and add these in even as a second session. So my normal training for powerlifting will not be changing. I will be just adding in things that I tend to neglect a bit. It's overall, it's such a good mindset that I've gotten from this, something that I've learnt, something that's going to help me with my studies and my clients as well. As I'm going into next year, do sports science and possibly exercise physiology or sports psychology. These all do have a place, not only just for me, but for training my clients, and something that can help me with those studies to understand it from a more practical sense, rather than what a lot of people get, which is the theoretical sense, which while it is great, it has a limitation of people not being able to put it into practice. So having these challenges for me to not want to rush too much, to battle the mental barrier of, okay, I can't lift much at the moment, or no, I can't lift much, shouldn't lift much, I've got to be able to recover, I want to go lift that heavy again. Being able to step myself through it one step by one step shows me a way that I can target people who have a similar mindset to me. Now let's get on to today's workout. So today I had a bit of a mixed workout. I did a couple of sets with just kettlebell squats and just found it a little bit awkward. Didn't feel any pain or anything, just didn't feel comfortable. So I thought, let's try with a lunging when my torso is a little bit further upright, and do sort of a snatch grip overhead to allow stretching through the abdominal region just to see if there's any strain. There was no problems with this. So I also supersetted this with leg extension. So for the first set of both of these, I did a dowry stick for the lunges, and then I did 63 kilos for sets of like 8 to 10, really slow motion movement. And after that, I would then have a quick rest and then rinse, repeat. I ended up moving on to going from the dowry stick to just what we call a technique bar. So it's like a 8 to 10 kilo bar that's mainly used for Olympic weightlifting technique or just technique in general for form, and held that over my head. As I get better and as I feel better, I am going to add this in, as this will help my squatting, it'll help my balance, mobility, a lot of other things that can carry over to making me a better athlete. So in saying this, I've found some things that, while it has been challenging, it has allowed me to step back from my own training and adjust how I would train myself, and it's also allowed me to adjust how I've been helping other coaches that I've been training in growing their lifts and being able to better make them understand how to approach their clients and better suit their training for them. So as you can see with this, I'm keeping my arms slightly in front of my head, so not into a full snatch position. Reason why I'm doing this is when I go back into a full snatch position, as you see just there briefly, it can cause a bit too much tightness from my core. Anyway, let's go back to what I'm doing at the moment. So this is all leading up to hopefully next week. So next week, if I get the clear go ahead to say, hey, you can go up to maybe 70 to 80% max. So for me, it's anywhere, at the moment, I'd say anywhere between 280 to 320. I'm probably still going to be conservative for a couple of weeks because I want to get the strength back and I don't want to have to go back into using a belt yet. So I'll be sitting mid to low twos and stepping my way back up. So I will have more news next week, but this will be the end of this week's recap. I hope you guys enjoyed. Any questions, leave them in the comments. Please subscribe. Let's make our way to 1,000 subscribers and help me give more information to you guys and get my journey out there into what I hope for one day is to become one of the best powerlifters in my weight class and in Australia. See you guys next time.